Hello viewers, welcome to a lecture series on marketing management, and in that series of marketing management we have been talking about retailing in detail, and this is going to be part 9 of our lectures on the topic of retailing, wherein we have been talking about the broad contours of retailing. We also had a discussion on what exactly we mean by organized and unorganized retailing, what is there into retailing, what are the different ways and means of operating in a retail environment, what kind of challenges a retailer in India is going to face as of now, and the way they are actually strategizing to come out of those challenges. So, all those things we have discussed, and now continuing our discussion, we have been talking about FDI in detail, wherein I told you what exactly we mean by foreign direct investment, that too in the retail sector. And we also had a discussion on the key statistics of FDI in detail, and now we will talk about the policies that have actually helped in boosting India's FDI. The way we have transformed our economy into a most preferred destination, wherein the entire world is willing to come to India and make an investment into different sectors. And specifically speaking here, I would say that the world is now looking at the retail market of India, and they are investing into our country as well. So, FDI in detail, we all know that it stands as a key catalyst for India's economic growth, and it constitutes a substantial non-debt financial reservoir for the nation's developmental endeavors. It is not coming in the form of debt, it is actually coming in the form of equity, because they are making investment into our own country, and that too is a direct investment. So, this FDI is not only resulting into the investment, but it is actually acting as a catalyst for so many things. Once there is a direct investment in the economy, what happens? We start getting employment opportunities. There is a local sourcing also, because they are not going to buy all the resources from their own country of origin or from their home country. They are going to source most of the materials and most of the labor forces from the country where the investment is made, that is India. So, what is happening here, that this FDI in detail is not only resulting into the huge investment in the economy in terms of capital investment, but also it is opening up the doors of huge employment opportunities, the great employment opportunities for the youth of India, which is very much skilled as on date with the emergence of so many schemes. So, multinational corporations, they are strategically investing in India, capitalizing on country's unique investment incentives, and these incentives includes tax incentives and of course relatively competitive labor cost, which is one of the USP of a country like India. So, all this not only facilitates the acquisition of technological expertise, but also fosters job creation and various ancillary advantages. So, we have already discussed about the FDI inflow, that what is the extent of FDI inflow over a period of time starting from the year 2014 until date, the way it has consistently and constantly increased, and this investment is actually a testimony to the government's schemes, to the faith of the entire world in India's economy. And if we talk about specifically the retail sector, of course the confidence is very high as far as the global investors are concerned. Now, there is this influx of these investments into India is actually a result of multiple factors, multiple initiatives of government of India. It has not happened overnight. For this, government has actually planned so many schemes. They have crafted so many schemes for the Indian economy, so that it should become a preferred destination. So, whatever hitches, whatever the blockages were there, they have been removed, and now we are finding the economy to be very robust in terms of policy framework, the business environment to be very dynamic, and there is a situation of improved global competitiveness. As far as our competitiveness is concerned, it has improved, and of course the burgeoning economic influence is some of the points which we need to discuss. So, when we talk about the notable efforts of government of India, the most popular scheme which comes in front of us in last in last decade, I would say that it is Make in India. campaign, which actually focuses on simplifying procedures and promoting a favorable investment climate across sectors, and this has actually resulted into India as a destination for foreign direct investment. So it has become an attractive destination for FDI in recent years, which is influenced by several factors that have actually boosted the foreign direct investment in India. I told you about the ranking of India in Global Innovation Index, where we have actually secured the coveted 39th position, and still the journey is on, and very soon India is going to be among the top 10 countries in terms of Global Innovation Index is concerned. And not only that, even the ease of doing business index is also it has also made a remarkable change, and the kind of positivity we can witness in the environment is of course notable. So when as a student we are having a discussion on the topic, we should understand that what are those policies which have actually helped India's FDI to reach, to roar to this level, or this roaring FDI investment is actually a testimony to the strategic planning and its implementation in a very efficient and effective manner. So India has actually developed several schemes and policies that have helped boosting India's FDI. And out of all the popular schemes, one of the most popular scheme is PLI, that is Production Linked Incentive. This scheme have actually attracted about 1,75,311 crore rupees, and if we convert it into US dollar, it comes around $20.3 billion of investment across 14 strategic sectors by July 21st, 2025. So this is a remarkable achievement as far as Indian economy is concerned. And when we talk about the spread of this investment, that it has spread across sectors that include not only electronics and pharmaceuticals, but also textiles, telecom and automobile sector of India. So this push has actually led to over 806 approved projects, and it has created more than 1.2 million direct and indirect jobs. And my dear learners, this is the most important achievement, the most significant achievement of FDI, that it has created 1.2 million direct and indirect jobs, which is not only going to provide employment opportunity to the youth, but also result into the increment in purchasing power, and eventually the market will catch up. The demand will also increase, because this purchasing power is eventually going to the market, and that would result into the establishment of more and more industries, and of course the employment opportunities in the same proportion. So as a part of Union Budget 2025-26, which is of the current year, the government has actually raised the sectoral cap for the insurance sector from erstwhile 74% to the present 100%. So in the insurance sector now there is no capping, and this has now been raised to the tune of 100%. So if we look at these policies, they are actually reflecting the positivity in the economy, positivity in terms of policy framework, and the positive attitude of government towards the investors. So an investment friendliness index for states is there in the pipeline, and it will be introduced very soon, this year only. And government has also it is also set to launch Jan Vishwas 2.0 to enhance the business environment further, and the government permits 100% FDI through via automatic route for aircraft maintenance, repair and overhaul, which is also known as MRO, that is maintenance, repair and overhauling. So this is for aircraft sector, where it is now raised to the limit of 100%, and the government is also taking several steps. For instance, all these steps are targeted, they are facilitating foreign direct investments, they are just to nudge private prioritization and promoting opportunities for using Indian rupee as a currency for overseas investment, to simplify FDI regulations and also to speed up the approval process. So imagine now our currency is also being honored, that people are investing in by using Indian rupee as a currency for overseas investment. So for overseas investment also, that is going to increase the value of the Indian currency, because the demand will also be on a higher side. So India has permitted 100% FDI under the automatic route in many sectors. There are different routes to permitting FDI. One is the government route, another is automatic route. I will tell you the difference between the two. So, under the automatic route, several sectors are there where the India has permitted 100% FDI, and it includes thermal power, it includes medical devices, and some of the broadcasting services, while other sectors, for instance telecom and private security, they have caps that can be exceeded with the government approval. So they have permission, but there is some government approval is needed. Some key sectors which have different FDI limits, or they require government approval. For instance, in case of defense sector, the FDI is up to 74%, it is automatic, and then with the more requiring approval, you need to seek an approval, and then FDI is permitted. Just to be on safer side, just to maintain the internal and external security of the nation, this kind of approval is needed. Otherwise, government has no inhibition in stopping anybody from making investment into our country. So that door is open, but the only point here is that up to 74% there is automatic route, and in case of private sector banks, it is again up to 74% automatic, and if you want more, then of course for that you need to seek an approval. Certain sectors, for instance lottery business if we talk about, or gambling we talk about, they are still prohibited, because that of course is genuine also, is reasonable also, because government is willing to motivate people to do some business, to make investment, and of course have returns, and then create job opportunities. So that is the ultimate goal. Now coming to the different routes, because I have been using two terms, one is the automatic route, another is the government route. So we need to first understand what are the different routes to FDI and what it all involves, how it is different, how this automatic route is different from that of the permission route, that is the government route. So let me tell you about the automatic route. As the term itself is indicating that this route is automatic, there is rather I would say there is no hurdle into this route, and this entry route for FDI, wherein investment made by a resident outside India, it does not require any prior Reserve Bank or government approval. You do not require any approval either from the Reserve Bank of India, because FEMA is involved, Foreign Exchange Management Act is involved. So neither you need to seek approval from Reserve Bank of India, which is the central bank of our country, nor you need to seek any approval from the government. So which means automatically or freely you can make investment into our country, that is India, or what you call as Bharat. So you can make investment through automatic channel also, and those sectors are identified. So wherein you do not need to seek any approval either from the government or from the Reserve Bank of India. Wherein if we talk about the government route, of course this entry route for FDI, as it is indicating that you need to seek certain approvals. So when you are making investment into those sectors which are kept under this route of government route, then of course the investment made by a resident outside India, it requires prior government approval, and in certain cases of course you have to seek approval of RBI as well. So these are two different routes of making investment into FDI. One is automatic route, another is government route. So automatic route, as the term itself is reflecting, it is automatic in nature, no approval, no prior permission is needed. Wherein in case of government route, of course you need to seek some prior approval before initiating investment into our country. So the foreign investment received under this route shall comply with the conditions stipulated by the government in the approval form. There is an approval form. If we are going through government route, you have to fill that, and you have to fulfill or comply with all the conditions which are laid down into that. And that application can be made on the Foreign Investment Facilitation Portal. There is a specific portal for that, that is called as FIFP. Foreign Investment Facilitation Portal, which is actually a new online portal to facilitate FDI approvals for investors. So you need not to stand in a queue, or you need not to run from pillar to the post. It is a centralized portal where you can submit your application, and once you get the approval, you can initiate your investment process. So this is very much investor friendly and automatic in nature, and this has actually been kept under this route keeping in mind the security, the national security, and also bringing some discipline into certain sectors which are of immense importance for social welfare, which are for the social causes, cause India is the Indian government is actually working as a welfare government, or economy is called as a welfare economy. So, government is not running anything with the profit motive. Ultimate goal is that the government is by the public, for the public. So, we are actually the government. Each and every citizen of our country is representing the government, because government is represented by them. So, the ultimate goal is to facilitate FDI approval for investors, and for that they have created such portals. The Union Cabinet actually approved an amendment to the FDI policy concerning the space sector, aligning with the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. So, this amendment liberalized the space sector, allowing 100% FDI investment in specified subsector or activities. Imagine, even into that sector, there is most of the sectors. If you look at the FDI limit, you would find that for the majority of the sector, the limit is now 100%. Which means we are permitting 100% FDI. We are providing them an opportunity to make investment and grow, not only their growth but also the growth of our country. So, for specified subcategories and subsectors, it is again 100%. Even in the space sector, it has now been permitted. So, in line with the Atmanirbhar Bharat vision, the Union Cabinet actually approved this PLI scheme for white goods also. In marketing, when we teach white goods, we all know that we are talking about the electronic goods. Electronic goods are actually represented by the white goods. So, this PLI scheme for white goods also, which includes air conditioners or LED lights with a budget of US dollars 752 million, and if we convert it into Indian rupee, it becomes 6,238 crores from financial year 21-22 to financial year 28-29. So, in this total time span of roughly 7 years, this investment is going to be of 752 million US dollar. Now, when we talk about PLI, we should understand what exactly this PLI is and what is the intent behind launching this PLI scheme by the government of India. What is the history of this PLI scheme? In the year 2020, the production linked incentive, this PLI, which we call as an acronym, we are using a term called PLI. So, this PLI scheme was launched to boost domestic manufacturing through targeted performance based incentives across strategic sectors. So, the objective was India is actually known as a agrarian economy, which is based on agriculture. Then we are also regarded as service sector economy, because the contribution of service sector is on the higher side. But just to ensure the balanced growth, the uniform growth across sectors, government thought of coming up with a specific scheme for the manufacturing sector, and this scheme is named as PLI, production linked incentive scheme. And the objective of this scheme is to boost domestic manufacturing by the way of targeted performance based incentives across strategic sectors. So, government is giving some incentives to them, and this PLI scheme was as we all know that it was launched in April 2020, and initially it began with the mobile manufacturing and specific electronic components. Initially it was for limited sectors, for instance critical key starting materials, drug intermediaries and active pharmaceutical ingredients and manufacturing of medical devices. So, mostly it was either into the health sector, pharmaceutical sector, or into the electronics and communication. So, initially it was for that sector, but later on it was extended to, since it was very successful, it came as a successful scheme. So, following its initial success, the scheme was progressively extended to cover 13 key sectors of the economy, which includes not only pharmaceutical but also automobile, auto components, textile products, white goods and specialty steel, among others sectors, because there are 13 key sectors. I am not naming all of them, but these are some of the popular sectors where this PLI scheme was progressively extended, because the initial implementation gave very surprising results beyond expectations. So the result was so positive that government thought of spreading or extending the scheme to other sectors also, so that the growth can be ensured, so that the growth can be extended to other sectors also. So government of India actually increased FDI in the defense sector by liberalizing it to 74%. Earlier it was under the exclusive state control, there was no FDI permitted, but now government has liberalized it to the tune of 74% through the automatic route, and of course 100% through the government route. So if you seek prior approval of the government of India and other agencies, then of course it is permitted to the extent of 100% even in the defense sector. So even in the defense sector we are permitting 100% FDI, although 74% is through automatic route, and remaining, if you want to extend beyond that, you can go through the government route. So this is a remarkable change by the government of India, and this FIFP is a new online single point interface of the government for investors to facilitate FDI proposals, to evaluate and further authorize them under the government approval route. So that route is even the government route wherein you need to seek approval, that approval way or portal is also very investor friendly. It is almost acting like an automatic route wherein you simply put your information, and if you have placed all the desired informations in a requisite format, then of course there is nothing which can stop you from seeking the approval. So approval is all investor friendly. And the sectoral cap for the pharmaceutical industry, if we talk about this industry, because it is directly linked to the health and welfare of the citizen of our country, then of course it has been lowered, and 74% of FDI is permitted in the brownfield pharma sector via the automatic method, and 100% is permitted via the approved route. So again there is an approval of 100%, but for that you need to seek approval, because it is concerned with the welfare of the citizen of the country, because it is concerned with the health and welfare of our citizens. In the civil aviation sector, if we talk about the capping, it is 100% FDI is permitted, that too under the automatic route in brownfield airport projects. There are different categorizations of greenfield and brownfield projects. So in case of brownfield airport projects, 100% FDI is allowed under automatic route. And now if we talk about the most debated and most discussed topic of retailing, FDI in retailing, that is in terms of single brand and multiple brand retailing. So when we talk about single brand retailing, that is SBRT, or multi brand retailing, that is MBRT, there is a debate going on that how much FDI should be permitted, whether we should permit FDI in multi brand retailing or not. So there has been huge debate in India, and I would be discussing with you about the current scenario, the way this SBRT and MBRT is being dealt very strategically and very rationally by the government of India, and it has actually given us the very positive results. So for single brand retail trading, local sourcing norms have been relaxed for up to 3 years, and 100% FDI is allowed under automatic route. So in case of single brand retailing, as of now there is no hurdle, it is permitted to the extent of 100%, that too via automatic route. Although there were certain sourcing norms, but for some sectors it has been relaxed for 3 years, that up to 3 years you can go for your own sourcing preferences, but later on you have to go for sourcing it from the local people, so that we can promote the MSME sector, the micro, small and medium enterprises sector, because we cannot work at the cost of the small shopkeepers, the cottage industries, the micro and small industries of India. So FDI is permitted, but again with all rationality and the logic for protecting, for giving protection to the small shopkeepers who have actually been earning their livelihood through their age long business, or what you call as a family business. So the government has amended the Foreign Exchange Management Act also. There are certain rules which are amended, and they allow up to 20% FDI in insurance company, LIC, through the automatic route. Even in the life insurance corporation, it is now permitted that 20% of FDI is now permitted in LIC also. which is one of the leading sector of leading company of insurance sector representing the government. So many reforms, like I would say National Technical Textiles, Silk Samagra 2 scheme, 7 Pradhan Mantri Mega Integrated Textile Region and apparel, that is called PM Mitra Parks, and production linked incentive. As I told you that it is one of the most popular and most celebrated scheme for textiles to promote the production of man-made fiber, that is MMF apparel. We have been talking about this MMF, that is man-made fiber fabrics and products of technical textiles, and more initiatives are taken by the government to enhance export and also to promote FDI in the textile sector. Now, what is the way forward given this entire scenario of FDI, wherein government has given two different routes? One is automatic, another is the government route. India is emerging as a leading global hub for FDI, with inflows rising nearly 13% in financial year 2025 and ranking among the world's top destinations. So, India has actually emerged as the top destination for FDI across the globe. Now, what is the way forward? These policy reforms, for instance, I would talk about corporate tax rationalization. I will talk about the recent rationalization of GST, that is goods and services tax, liberalized FDI caps. We have talked about PLI scheme. All these they have boosted investors confidence across sectors. And if we talk about those sectors which have actually emerged as one of the most benefited sector, I would take the name of electronics, I would take the name of services, and of course the new and the renewable energy. We talk about the renewable energy as of now, because we do pay concern towards the environmental concerns towards the environmental sustainability, and we talk about doing business. We not only talk about, but we also walk or talk regarding having a sustainability component into our business operations. So, whatever business we are doing, whichever sector we are into, we have to ensure that our business need to be sustainable. We need to take care of the environmental concerns. So, with the strong inflows from Singapore, Mauritius and the US, along with the rising interest from newer geographies, India's favorable demographics and pro-investment policies, they make it one of the most attractive destination for long-term capital. And we talk about destination India now. Globally, people talk about the consumer industry, the customer industry of India, which is one of the fastest growing sectors in the economy, driven by rapidly rise in disposable income, urbanization and youthful demographic profile, where we have been talking about having demographic dividend. So, the retail industry, if we talk about its projected growth rate, it is going to reach to the remarkable place of US dollar 1.1 trillion by 2027, and it is going up to US dollar 2 trillion by 2032. And if we look at the compounded annual growth rate, that is CAGR, this rate comes to be 25%. So, given this scenario, India, it's all positive for India, and India is now preferred, it is now a preferred destination for FDI. So, with this, my dear learners, I tried to present before you the current scenario of FDI in the retail sector in India. Thank you so much.